come in.
Hi, you must be Lisa?
Yes.
Lisa, hi. Nice to meet you. I'm Erin. I'm assigned to Clarisse's care for the day.
Well, that's nice to meet one of the nurses assigned to looking after her daughter when we're elsewhere.
I know. The reassurance is really nice. How's your day so far?
It's great, thank you.
Good to hear. So I'm glad I kind of got to sit you down in more of a quiet, sort of casual position because I was hoping I could talk to you one-on-one and use something called the Calgary Family Assessment. It's a tool used just to assess the structural, functional, and the developmental kind of context of a family picture. Using this can kind of give us an idea where you guys are at with Clarisse's care and her diagnosis. Is this okay?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Please.
Perfect. Let's get started. So, first, I'm just going to ask you a couple of basic questions. To start, who lives in your home? Do you guys have any pets? What does your immediate family kind of consist of?
Okay, so there's my husband, myself, and my 2 kids. We all live together.
Okay, no pets or anything like that? No
Nope.
other relatives? Okay, good to understand. What's the family dynamic like in your house? Like, would you say you guys are really busy on a day-to-day
Oh, yeah.
schedule? Or
Well, I'm a full-time pharmacist. I work at 3 different locations, and my husband's an entrepreneur, designing eco-friendly parts for various vehicles and aircraft. So I think busy is a good way to describe us. My kids' lives are pretty eventful, too. My son's a varsity track and field athlete, and my daughter, prior to her cancer diagnosis, was a volunteer at many arts events in her school and is an enthusiastic artist herself. It's her dream to get an OCAD university one day and to incorporate her creativity into environmental science, just like her dad.
oh, that's amazing. Wow,
Thank you.
sounds like you guys are really busy bees, too. Can you tell me more information about, say, like your personal or your spouse's family? Are you close with any of the extended family? What about your kids?
Well, John's an only child, so he's quite close with his parents. His mother passed recently from cancer, though, and he visits his father rather, nearly every day, or at least the last 3 or 4 years since he's moved into a long-term care facility.
I'm sorry to hear about.
Thank you. Due to his father's health, he doesn't get the chance to visit. His father doesn't get the chance to visit with our kids very often, but we know that he loves them very much.
Yeah, I'm sure of that. It's grandbabies,
I
right?
had a brother who died when he was 17 from brain cancer. Also, this all feels a little overwhelming. It takes me back to this stressful point in my life. Both of my parents are still alive and doing very well, and they love visiting us and their grandkids too.
I'm sorry to hear about your brother.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for being so informative, by the way, about your
pleasure.
extended family and just all that
Thank
kind of stuff. It's hard to open up during a time like this, and
Thank
we can all kind of empathize for you. So, moving on with questions, do you have any immediate family members or friends kind of in the community that can support you? And your husband's name is John, is that correct?
Yes.
John, with this process. It can be honestly like friends from outside activities, friends from work, anyone you've had friends over life with, etc.
Yeah, I have a couple of friends from college that I'm still very close with to this day, who I can comfortably talk to about pretty much anything. And John has coworkers that he likes spending time around when we have some downtime.
Yeah, I'm sure downtime is pretty hard to find with 2 energetic young kids, for sure. That's great, though. I'm glad that you guys do have a social support
Thank you.
network
Yeah.
somehow.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. I'm gradually getting into some more personal questions.
That's
Before
okay.
I'm moving forward, I'll just let you know that. But feel free to stop me if you're uncomfortable answering any
Okay.
questions,
I will.
okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you and your family members believe in a particular religion? And if so, how strongly?
No, not in particular. John's parents are strong Christians, but he never felt the need to partake in that religion or belief. It feels useless to try and believe in something these days, though.
I know. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
What social class would you guys fall into? That be upper, middle, or lower class? And do you feel as if in your living situation right now you have adequate access to needs of living, say groceries, transportation, hydro, shelter, etc.?
I understand. We're pretty upper class, I'd say. John and I are comfortable financially and both love our jobs regardless of the amount it takes away from each other, our kids and our home. They're enrolled in private school, our kids, near our home, and our neighborhood is clean and beautiful and safe. We have access to life-sustaining resources and everything we could need, like clean water, groceries, transportation, and the finer things.
Good. That sounds amazing. Okay. it seems obvious that you guys are kind of comfortable where you're sitting right now, aside from Clarisse's health condition at the moment.
Yes.
So, more into details about you and John specifically, though. When did you and John decide to have kids, and would you say it's impacted your lives for the better?
Well, we met in 1980 on the same track team in college and dated for about 5 years, but things just fell into place after that. We have our girl Clarisse first, then Tyler, and shortly afterwards through in vitro fertilization. My doctor informed me in my first trimester that Clarisse that I was a high-risk candidate for a vaginal birth due to a strong, long family history of hypertension. So we decided that in vitro was the best way to fulfill our dream of having 2 wonderful kids.
Oh, that's amazing. Do you and John feel like you guys have fulfilled this stage of your relationship and having kids? Like, would you ever want more kids, or is this kind of the stage in your life where you're okay and settled?
I'd say yes and no. I think I can say we're both fulfilled in our lives and we love our jobs and kids and lifestyles. This cancer diagnosis for Clarisse, though, has devastated us, and we're desperately trying to make ends meet to be there for each other and our kids from a practical standpoint. We've been fighting a lot these days about a lack of time to care for our daughter due to work and how we're both handling the situation. It's a lot to handle, and we don't have the heart to inform Clarisse that she's living in her last days. We're both so heartbroken.
I could imagine. But she knows that you guys love her very much, and you're only doing the best to support her, right? There's only so much that one person can do, so. With this change, though, in Clarisse's diagnosis and even her lifestyle living with brain cancer at a terminal point, it's probably changed so much in the day-to-day basics for you and Tyler and your husband John. Just, can you try and describe to me what a day in your family's life is?
Sure.
Just normal day.
Well, we wake up around anywhere between 5 and 7, depending on the day, either for school and work, and around the same time each day. The kids go to school, depending on their extracurriculars. They're there until about 3 till 7 p.m., depending on the day. John usually is traveling out of the country for conferences and presentations, and he could be gone for days at a time. Sometimes weeks. I miss him often. He misses us too, but it's the life we live. I work at 3 different locations for my job as a pharmacist, so I could be working a lot of hours. I work mostly 12 hours per day, 6 days a week. Nowadays, though, I'm often calling in sick so I can come here and spend time with my daughter. I have lots of overtime, so that's okay, but I don't want to lose my job over this.
For sure, I understand. Are you all pretty open communication-wise about your feelings towards one another, even verbally and non-verbally, emotionally too? Like, what's the emotional tone like in your home? Sorry if I'm bombarding you with questions, by the way. Feel free to slow me down.
I know you want to understand our family. We're always open with our kids and encourage them to communicate their feelings with us regardless of the situation going on with them. We try our best to be reassuring. John and I, however, due to fighting, sometimes experience difficulties expressing our needs to each other comfortably. Otherwise, I think everything's okay in that aspect. Tyler is pretty depressed about his sister in the hospital, and he's trying to understand that it's not his choice to make for her care. It's his mom and dad's.
Yeah, I'm sure. Younger brother, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are there any kind of continuous problems that have been existing in your family? And if you don't feel comfortable answering a question like this, I totally understand too.
Oh boy, yes. Although Tyler's younger than Clarisse, he feels the need to play the big brother role and interfere with her care living with this diagnosis. He's extremely thoughtful towards her and loves her, but it can come across aggressive sometimes, especially when it involves other kids. John and I, though, usually argue about time with Clarissa, time away from work to spend together, stuff like that.
Yeah, it's hard. You said you work, 3 full-time jobs for pharmacy?
Well, three different locations for full-time hours, yes.
Yeah, and especially because he's traveling so often, I can imagine it's hard.
Yeah, there's a lot of time spent without him.
Yeah. Thank you for being so open and courageous about this whole thing. I'm almost done, sorry, but how do you guys solve your problems individually or amongst each other as a family? Oh, you have a therapy dog?
Yes, my therapy dog. John and I usually have fights that maybe last a day or two and make up with a hug and some therapeutic communication. Tyler, on the other hand, is not a quitter and is hard-headed. It's hard for him to forgive and forget, and I'm worried about breaking this news to him, and most importantly, breaking this news to Clarisse.
Yeah, I'm sure. Does everyone just generally get along in your family, though, for the most part? What do you think?
Definitely. Our kids are the lights of our lives. Clarisse is the apple of my eye, is my little girl. We all want to watch each other grow and not suffer and do the best we can. It just takes time and courage.
I know, it does. That's right. I'm just glad that we could kind of sit down and get on a one-to-one level. I know being a parent, especially in a hospital setting, it can be really hard because there's so many people going in and out and they're just trying to care for your daughter, but the aspect of care involves connecting with people, right? Mm-hmm. So I bet it's hard to see so many people and feel like you can't talk to someone, and that's what we're here for.
I understand.
Yeah. So Clarisse is just resting in her bed right now, and sooner or later it's going to be dinner time. Mm-hmm. I was hoping that I could kind of help her set up her dinner tray, and then afterwards I was planning on giving her a bed bath because I know she was telling me early she's kind of too tired to get up and have a shower, so I think we've kind of agreed on a middle ground and just doing a bed bath before bed. Okay. If you want, I'm going to go help you. More than welcome to come in and join if you want. I think she wants to see you.
Okay, I'd love that. Thank you.
That sounds wonderful. All right, let's go.
Thank you, Erin.
You're welcome.